Hi and welcome to the first live unscripted webinar based around building forms and surveys to integrate with CRM, specifically Salesforce. My name is Andrew Walker and I'm going to take you through the process of building and integrating a Web2Lead form. It's going to be a little bit more than a Web2Lead form because we're not actually going to create a lead. We are going to create an account, create a contact, create an activity to record the fact the form's been completed, and then add the contact we've created to a campaign. So it should take about 10 minutes, so let's get started. And our start point is Clicktools, and we're starting from scratch, so we'll click the Create New Survey link here. Brings a dialog up, and we'll give our survey or form a name, Web2 account form, and we'll store it in the default folders fine, and we'll give it a template, and we'll just use a Getting Started template, and we'll click Create. So we now have our blank form with we need to add our content. And we're going to need a few questions, so we'll start with a text question, which is going to be the base of the form, and the first thing we want to grab is the person's first name. Now what I don't want to do is I actually don't want to display the text label. I actually want to use it as a watermark, so I'll go to the layout option, hide text, click apply, and that removes the question text and just has the prompt inside the field itself. So we'll copy that because we also need last name, so we'll do the same again, just put last name in there, and then for some other fields what we'll do is we just want to grab, we want one for company, so we'll copy that, we want for email, and we want one for a field that lets the person tell us why they've contacted us. So we'll have company, we'll have email, excuse me, clicked on the wrong thing, again. And for the email, we'll actually apply some validation, so we'll only allow a valid email address. Click apply, and the last thing we'll do is we'll put in how may we help you. And the watermarks don't have to be the same, so we can put in you as well. So click apply. And that is the base of our form. So before we move on and actually look at it, we need to make sure that our survey or form is set up to integrate with CRM. So we click on the settings menu, and from there we can, in this case it's Salesforce, so you'll have Oracle or Microsoft or Sugar, etc. We set that to be yes automatic, and we put in our credentials, and Clicktools securely stores those on the server, encrypts them, and we'll also put in an exit page of the Clicktools homepage, just test that, make sure it works. Did I test that or didn't I? Oh, stupid browser. Yep, there we go, that's done. So click save, and we can now deploy the survey. So we click on the orange deploy button, and that gives us a link. And we can see our survey there, but now what we want to do before we complete it is literally set it up to integrate back into Salesforce. And to do that, I go to the map menu, and we'll see that we have no mappings defined. Now if you use this form or any of the others from the sample library, there should be mappings there, but obviously for the purposes of the webinar we're creating this from scratch. So the first thing we want to do is create an account. So account is already selected in this list of CRM objects. This displays all the objects I have. I've got account there, so I add new object, and this gives me what we call a mapping panel. And Clicktools is telling me that Salesforce has got to have an account name to create an account, and that's all it needs. So we're going to use the company name for the account name, and then what I want to do is create a contact. So I use the drop down, find contact in the rather long list, and add an object. And Clicktools is telling me that Salesforce just needs to know the last name. So I've got the last name, that's my second field, but I've also got some other things. So I can add first name, I want to add email, and I want to add how may we help you to the description, and the last thing I need to do is I'll need another field because I need to link the contact to the account. So first name, we map that to, well, funnily enough, first name, and we will map email to email. How may we help? We will go to the contact description. And then lastly, you'll see here that account ID. So if you want to link things together in the mapping, you basically look for these fields with reference after them. So in the CRM object, the account ID reference is the thing that links the contact to the account. And in Clicktools, now we didn't have a field that's obviously going to link the contact to the account, but what we've got is Clicktools gives you a special field that's one of these reference fields, and it's called reference one account, and that will use the ID of the account we've created to link the contact to the account. The next thing we want to do is create an activity. So we look in the drop down and we'll see there that actually we don't have activity, and that's because Salesforce calls everything tasks. So we create a task, and there we need a priority and a status. So we don't have anything to really go in there, so we used another special field called fixed value, and we'll put in a priority of low, and for the status we'll use fixed value again. Now this is whether it's not completed, started, or completed. We'll put completed, because obviously the person's completed the form. We need to link the form to the contact that we've created, so then we use this magical reference field again, back to the contact. We want to use the date, and we'll use there the date the form was completed. And there's a couple more things we'll put in. We'll put in a subject, because I don't like activities with a blank subject. And we'll put in contact us form completed, and we will add in a description, and then we'll put in there how may we help you text again. Now the last thing is we need to add them to a campaign, or we want to add them to a campaign. So to do that, if you're familiar with Salesforce, we need to have what's called the link between a contact and a campaign, or a lead and a campaign, is a campaign member object. So we select the object, click add. So now Clicktools is telling me that Salesforce needs a campaign ID, and I don't know that, so we'll come back to that. But I also need to link it to the contact. So we'll do that using our magical reference field again, reference to contact. And the last thing we'll do is we need a status. So that references the campaign member status in Salesforce. So I need to go and get the campaign ID and know what status we've got. And I don't know those off the top of my head. So we'll go back to Salesforce and we'll go to our campaigns. And the campaign I want to add the contact to is the telesales campaign. And there in the browser window at the top is this 15-digit code that gives me a link to this campaign in Salesforce. And you'll get used to these if you're using Clicktools to link CRM a lot, because every unique piece of information, or every piece of information in Salesforce has a unique ID that's 15 digits. Campaign start 701, sorry, account start 001, contact start 003, and so on. So we'll copy that, and then we'll also look at the advanced setup that gives us access to the statuses. And I can see here that I want to use added because all these others refer to actual things that have happened following the telesales campaign. So go back to Clicktools. We use the campaign ID with a fixed value, and we will copy in the ID. And in the status, we'll use another fixed value, and we'll put in added. Now I think that completes our mapping. So we'll just save it, and what we'll do is we'll just go back and just make sure we've got everything covered. So the first thing we're doing is creating an account and just using the company name. Then we are using a contact, and we've got last name, first name, email, how may we help you, and we're linking the contact to the account. We're creating a task with the low priority, completed status, linking the task to the contact, and then recording when and what the task was about, and last but no means least, adding the contact to a campaign. So that completes our mapping, so we can now complete it, and let's see if we can get it to work. So here's our form, and I am going to complete this in the name of Daisy Alice, who works for a company called DA Incorporated, and her email is one that we will use for demos a little bit later on. So I'm going to use it as an email I can get access to. I have heard about Widget Buster, call me. And click submit, and that should take us to the Clicktools page, which was the follow-up page. Okay, cool. So let's close that tab. We'll go back to Salesforce, and if we now click on our Accounts tab, we will see that an account called DA Incorporated has been added. And there, if we just scroll down, we'll see that DA Incorporated has a contact associated. And if we focus on Daisy, we will see that there is not an activity recorded there. Oh yes, sorry, there it is. Sorry, it's in the history because it's been completed there, obviously. And if we scroll down again, we'll also see that Daisy has been added to the campaign. So there, from one simple Clicktools form, in about 10 minutes, we've built the form, mapped it to Salesforce, and created an account, created a contact, recorded the activity, and added Daisy to a campaign. So that completes the first webinar. Join me on the next one, which will take us through building a call script, and we'll see what happens when Daisy gets that call from the telesales campaign. Thank you and goodbye.